Welcome to Coco's Corner. I'm the huge one, Dave Coco from KocoSports.com, KocoSports.com, where the world comes to kick cash, your home for combat sports, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. This is our WWE Weekend Review, and Rob is usually joining me, but he's in the middle of moving, and he's probably going to have heat on me because I was supposed to wait for him, but I have something to do in the afternoon, so Rob will hopefully be back next week. And with that said, let's break it down. In the comments below, if you can, put who you thought your MVP of the week was and best show of the week. Last week, they had a great week, WWE. WWE had a really great week last week, except the pay-per-view. This week, this might have been the worst week of WWE in a real long time, in my humble opinion. It was just bad. All right, we'll break it down. If this review is not long enough, we break down every show for about I think the shortest one was 8 minutes because I was real sick about main event. But we break down every event, every show this week individually on our YouTube channel. So if you're like, you know what, I need more fat guys yelling about WWE, well, we break it down by show too. All right, so this week's MVP had 2 great matches, moving storylines along, getting young people over. Invented how to be a part-timer the right way. And my MVP this week is Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is absolutely amazing. And, you know, a lot of people are like, how could you like Chris Jericho, not Dave Bautista and The Rock? Those people are fucking, let's see, politically correct, the dumbest fucking human beings to walk planet Earth. That's it. That's it. I think that's politically correct. I think that's going to get past the PC positive YouTube police. So yeah, my MVP is Chris Jericho. Best show. This is hard. And you know, I'm not a negative WWE guy. I try to call it right down the middle. I thought last week they had an awesome, amazing week, except for the pay-per-view. So the one you had to pay for was the worst show of the week. This week, it was so bad, Battleground might have been good. If they put Battleground this week, it might have been good. Best show of the week, I got to be honest, and maybe if we keep missing Rob, we might have to make this pro wrestling show of the week. Best show of the week, G1. Fuck you, WWE. Best show of the week in America, TNA. Best show in Connecticut, fucking Billy Job Joe's fucking Connecticut fucking School of Wrestling, not WWE.net. It was a horrible fucking week for WWE. TNA beat it in America, G1, best show of the fucking week, obviously. But let's break down WWE anyway. And like I said, even for WWE standards, let's get TNA Destination X out of the way. Let's get G1 out of the way. Just no one exists except WWE, just like most people that review wrestling shows on YouTube. But this was a horrible week for fucking every show last week was better than this show this week. Across the fucking board. Across the board. Let's start with the nightmare that is Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, we have Paul Heyman confront WWE World Heavyweight Champion John Cena, and John Cena defeated Antonio Cesaro, which led to a match where John Cena defeated Antonio Cesaro. This, you know what? If John Cena didn't have 76 fucking title runs, this was his Mark Henry moment. There was a moment where Mark Henry snapped and cut a good promo, and I was like, wow, Mark Henry deserves at least one title before he leaves. If John Cena never had a title, I would say that. I'd be like, wow, he sucked his whole career, but that promo was pretty goddamn good. That match was pretty good. Let's give him one title. What the fuck do you mean he's already had 15 title runs? It wasn't that fucking good. But no, Cesaro, John Cena, John Cena defeats Antonio Cesaro. They cut a promo. Paul Heyman was good. John Cena actually showed passion and kept his stupid-ass fucking comments and jokes to a minimum. And you know what? If we can keep John Cena on this track towards Brock Lesnar, no jokes. Do not try to be a comedian. Don't. Fucking just be a serious John Cena that has to go and fight Brock Lesnar and have him wrestle people like Cesaro, bring CM Punk back, anyone that has fucking talent, and let him fucking carry this guy. Because you know what? This John Cena, I'm a huge John Cena hater fan. A John Cena hater fan, whatever the fuck that means. I hate John Cena. There, I said. I don't hate it as much as some other people, but I fucking hate him. Like, if I had a gun to my head, you hate John Cena? I'm like, yes! Take my wallet, I hate John Cena. But with that said, he was actually presentable. And the rest of them, and there's a big conspiracy theory, that the rest of them all sucked so that he could look good, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan 80s style. You know what? Some people might call them crazy conspiracy theorists. I'd say, well, it sure as hell looked that way. AJ Lee confronted Paige Knight, which I can only describe as awkward awesome. 1 second you're like, this is awkward. Next moment you're like, this is awesome. And you just hope they get it together. I know a lot of women's wrestling fans, a lot of, I don't know, critiquers are really hitting up on this. And AJ Lee, Paige, they've hit some really fucking big stumbling blocks in this feud. Paige seems very nervous on the big stage. She's a great pro wrestler, great athlete. And I just hope they get their shit together. Chris Jericho confronted Authority because, well, we can't fucking let Dolph Ziggler get over. We can't. You know what? I just gave Chris Jericho my MVP award, but this is very Batista-ish. Oh, by the way, I'm going to make fun of Batista a lot, but congratulations on Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what? I hope you become the most successful actor in the world. I hope you become the most successful mixed martial artist in the world. I hope you nothing but success in your future endeavors. Just please, for the love of fucking Christ, don't come back. I know he's got a 2-year contract, but there's already a sequel. I'm sure there's an MMA fight. Bellator will sign him. Just go. Be like, I was in Guardians of the Galaxy and WWE. I'll fight Bobby Lashley at fucking Lockdown. Okay, that's not Bellator's, but you know what I'm saying. Please, please, I beg it of you. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I want John Cena to die. I want Randy Orton to die. I want Chris Jericho to die. Blah, blah, blah. I know it's this. No one wants. Come on, let's be honest. Chris Jericho's fucking God. He can run for Prime Minister in Japan, for Christ's sake. But they always say, I want him to die and get hurt. I'm the opposite. If I hate you, I want you to have success in something I don't fucking love as much as pro wrestling. I hope John Cena becomes the next Rock. I hope Batista becomes the greatest goddamn actor ever. I hope that fucking Randy Orton finally says, you know fucking Randy Orton. Oh, God. Randy Orton fucking was getting a lot of shit for getting a dishonorable discharge. And usually on Twitter, Randy Orton is a pretty good fucking person about when he got out of the Marine Corps. He's pretty humble. But he's like bragging about what type of discharge he had. It was like, it wasn't dishonorable. It was bad behavior, conduct, fucking nut. Dude, all that means, Randy Orton, is you lawyered up and you fucking didn't get dishonorable discharge. That's it. That's all that means, Randy Orton. That doesn't mean you're a good person. Alright, listen. If someone comes by and busts your balls about getting a dishonorable discharge, or you don't fucking correct them and be like, no, my daddy's lawyer got me less of a charge. That's not something to be proud of. And if you're a Randy Orton fan, that's not something to be proud of. Just ignore those Twitters. You were too mentally weak to fucking finish Marine Corps boot camp. 0331, Semper Fi, go fuck yourself, Randy Orton. All I'm saying is, maybe you shouldn't have tweeted that. You look really fucking horrible. But anyway, Chris Jericho is having tendencies. He's my MVP. Does part-timers right, but this is bullshit. There's no way. They just went to the Attitude Era, trying to push the envelope. But why? Why Jericho? It's like, Jericho, you're gonna fucking steal the show twice this week. Why can't that be Ziggler? Why can't that be a young guy? Well, it's a bunch of fucking old dudes jerking each other off. If I wanted that, I'd go to YouPorn Gay. I don't fucking need to see fucking Chris Jericho and Authority jerk each other off. It happened. Jericho is fucking reliving his youth. You ever have a really old uncle or podcaster like myself, or a really old father, or someone old in your life, and they're having a midlife crisis? That's what this was. This was the midlife crisis of Raw. Everyone's having a midlife crisis. Everyone's having a great Gatsby moment. We can always go back. No, we can't. WWE Tag Team Champions the Usos and Dolph Ziggler defeated Intercontinental Champion The Miz and Ryan Paxel. I like The Miz. I like Dolph Ziggler. I like the Usos. I like everything about this, but the whole moneymaker thing is ruining fucking everything. It's ruining everything. The Miz and Dolph Ziggler can have great matches. The Usos and fucking the other fucking idiots, Ryback, can have great matches. But we're too busy telling a story no one gives a shit about. R-Truth beats Bo Dallas in the most fucking sad thing of the week. Do we have a moment of silence? I know you're not supposed to do this on an audio podcast, but we're going to do it. Moment of silence, please. The streak has ended. Yeah, the streak has ended. R-Truth defeated Bo Dallas. I describe it as fucking what the fuck are they thinking? This was just absolutely horrible. They shouldn't have done this at all. And you know what? I like R-Truth. I love Bo Dallas. But I describe it as watching NXT is like reading Games of Thrones. And then you go watch it on HBO and you know what's going to happen. Except they just skipped like 7 chapters of the Bo Dallas story. He should have been undefeated till SummerSlam. If R-Truth is going to beat him, that's good, but it just seems like they're going to forget about R-Truth in a week. So, to me, it just bugs the fucking living shit out of me. And Bo Dallas loses the streak, and you know what? Fuck it. Why bother? It's almost like you want to believe the product is going to get better. And no, it doesn't. No. You know how, like, some people want to turn back the clock? They're like, oh, man, I'd love to see the Attitude Era. Oh, I'd love to see the Rock and Wrestling Era. Oh, man, the Monday Night Wars. Remember when it was ECW, WCW, and WWE at top of their game? You know, everyone wants to turn back. Even some older guys are like, I want to turn back the clock to Bruno Sammartino times. And, you know, there's always someone who wants to turn back the clock. That's a big thing at WWE. Because, you know, that's when you know you're a good entertainment company, when a majority of your fans want to see it back. You know, when you're a good baseball team, they always say, man, remember the 70s? I wish it was the 70s so we could be good again. No one fucking says that. No one. Why? But anyway, fuck it. WWE. I would like just to turn back the clock a week. Can we just fucking start this week over? Can we get on the time machine? Someone call get the DeLorean. Get the fucking DeLorean. Tell Marty McFly, hey, you're going to have to fucking save your mom and dad another fucking day. We are going back to save WWE, not from itself. It's going to be horrible, but just to fucking make this week a little better. Sam Coulter, Jack Swagger confront Rusev and Lana Perry. I just could not believe that this really fucking is over. I'm happy for Swagger because, A, even though he hurts everyone and drink and drives even though he's a drunk behind the wheel and injures every great fucking superstar, he's still a good technical wrestler and the first FCW champion of the rebuild before it turned into NXT. And he's a great amateur wrestler. So, you know, even though he's a fucking drunk behind the wheel and injures everyone I love, it's kind of good to see him, you know, get over. And it's just, this is so fucking 80s and people love it. So, you know, there's some fucking Facebook guy, he wrestled in the indies in the 80s, wrestled in front of 200 people and got jobbed out to Sting on a fucking tryout match fucking back in 1986. You know he's in his glory. He's on Facebook right now. This is what wrestling needs. You don't need flippity news or fucking exciting matches. You need this. I just can't believe it's getting over. Good for you, WWE. Masses, you confuse the shit out of me. So yeah, it sets up a match at SummerSlam, which they'll set up throughout the fucking week. They're like, that segment, let's run that 76 times in a row. Adam Rose defeats Damian Sandow, who dresses up like an astronaut. You know, people, wrestle rantings like, oh, he's not getting buried. Who else? Don Tony is like, oh, I'm finding this entertaining. If anyone could send a message to Wrestling Ranting and Don Tony, wake me up when the entertainment not being buried fucking shit is over. Just wake me up. I don't know when that's gonna be, but if someone could wake me up when September comes. If someone could fucking be like, you know what, this is entertaining. I don't mind it entertaining, but hey, Don Tony, go fucking have fun. If people are like, it's not buried because the technical term of buried is fucking when you have a shovel in dirt and you put... Alright, listen, I'm not going to argue over if he's buried or if it's entertaining. I just want you guys, because you guys keep saying, oh, don't worry, they're going to turn his career around. Don't worry, he's going to get a push. Don't. I just wake me up when that happens. He's too talented to be doing this shit. I don't find it entertaining. Santino, entertaining. 3MP, entertaining. Some asshole dressed up in a fucking costume who doesn't fucking want to do it. I don't know. Is that kayfabe? Is that shoot? Who gives a shit? You know, fucking the kayfabe shoot shit only works if you care. Do I care if his character's angry? No. Tell me when his character's going to do something about it. Do I care if the real human being is angry? No. Just be entertaining. He fucking loses to Adam Rose. Poor Adam Rose. He's not getting over. Roman Reigns versus Kane never happened because Randy Orton had to fucking make sure that he RKO'd it through. Dude, poor table didn't break. Poor Roman Reigns. But it wasn't bad. You know, minus, you know, I wish there was a Cliff Notes of fucking Randy Orton moments. And you know what? I'm going to even say fucking his buddy, Roman Reigns. We wish there was a Cliff Notes. Like, if someone has video editing abilities, have time on their hands, and want to be a hero, there's not enough heroes to this day. I'd love to see Randy Orton segments and fucking Roman Reigns segments where they're just completely staring. Cut that part out. Cut that part. What if, like, and it's so funny because, like, I'd be like, you know, because I don't like Randy Orton. I know some people are like, he's a great fucking wrestler. No, he's a fucking underwear model who gets fucking angry because he fucking couldn't hack into Marines. Fucking, why did you tweet that, Randy? Why? I have respect because you were fucking honest and said you weren't fucking mentally tough. But the fucking brag that you got fucking something below a dishonorable discharge, wow. That's like saying that's like saying I'm Jack Swagger, I got a DUI, but my daddy paid for it, so I didn't have to fucking pay any fines. Wow, that's something to be proud of. Look at you. Look at you and your sexy fucking abs, you bitch fucking model. But I always wondered, like, what if someone because I do not like Randy Orton, the wrestler, and according to this week's tweet where he fucking defends his dishonorable discharge, I'm starting not to like the person too much either. But what if, like, you edit out all the parts where he's staring? I wonder if, like, you'd have an Okada match. Like, maybe I just get pissed off because I can't stand waiting for the next move 800 fucking minutes while he stares. What if someone just goes, hey, listen, here's a Randy Orton match without him staring? And I'm like, holy shit, 5 stars! I see it now! I fucking see it! And the funny thing is, people are like, but that's how you build Trinity. That's the drama. No, it's not. No one is fucking cheering. No one is booing. Everyone is just staring at you, staring at him awkwardly, questioning their sexuality. The Rock can pull it off because he's entertaining and has the crowd in his hand. You cannot. A heel can pull it off if fucking people gave a shit about him. But look, even WWE's own photo, I'm looking at KocoSports.com, they have the YouTube up, and it's still. Dude, he just went to a fucking table, right? He's sitting there staring. Let's look at the crowd in WWE's own photo. You got a guy just sitting there with his kid, bored out of his mind. You have another guy who's attempting to scream something. You have a guy, like, I want you to go to KocoSports.net. I do. And I wish I could put up the fucking photo, but I'm a fucking idiot. Go to KocoSports.net. Go look at the Raw results. There'll be a link in the doobly doo. And just look at the audience. This is the picture they chose as the thumbnail. Maybe I'll find out if I can find this picture. Maybe this would be my picture for fucking the week in review. So fucking some dumbass fucking troll would be like, I was confused. But look at these fucking fans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fans. You can utterly see how fucking bored they are. You have, best case scenario, you have 3 people with cell phones trying to take pictures, and you have one guy looking like he's calling the paperboy over. Yo, I like a paperboy. I like a hot dog. That's it. That's the photo you fucking chose, WWE. That's the photo. You're like, that's my thumbnail. That's where we're going to go. No one gave a shit. So, fucking fix that shit. Fix it. Instead of arguing with fans of like, I didn't get a dishonorable discharge. Daddy's money got me out of trouble. Instead of fucking tweeting that, how about you tweet something like, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop staring at someone, ask me a question because I'm not a fucking dick. You know, when you're shitting in Diva's bag, answer a fan's question. There you go. You got a fucking dishonorable discharge for this fucking Monday Night Raw. You should get a dishonorable discharge from WWE for all of pro wrestling. Diego defeats Fandango in the same fucking match every fucking week. Don't worry, kids. They do this match more than once. Naomi and Natalya defeat Alicia Fox and Cameron, and there was Divas. And the match of the night, I think, I don't know, Cesaro Cena was pretty good, but this one was pretty good too, but at least Cena had a finish. It wasn't the finish that we wanted, but it was the finish we needed. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Reading too much bad. Chris Jericho, it ends in a no contest, but it was a great match. And it was one of those matches you're like, man, I hope they get that on pay-per-view. And all these people are like, well, this was a great match, but they weren't going to give it away for free on pay-per-view. Listen, your words mean something. You have to step up to the plate and admit when you're wrong. I step up to the plate all the time when I admit you're wrong. But if you're one of those blah, blah, bloggers, podcasters, fucking whatever you want to call this, YouTubers, if you're one of those guys that say, well, yeah, they're saving it for a pay-per-view, and it never happens on a pay-per-view, you have to come back and eat crow. All right? So, yeah, this ends in a no contest. Very disappointed. And if you're one of those guys like, you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna fucking, this is fucking good because they're gonna have this on pay-per-view. If this match never happens on pay-per-view, you have to fucking come back and be like, dude, I was wrong. That's one thing I hate about YouTubers. They'll say crazy shit and defend WWE, but when you're wrong, you have to fucking pay the piper. So everyone that says, oh, don't be mad there wasn't a clean finish, they'll have this match at a pay-per-view. If this match never happens on a pay-per-view because he has to go back and promote Fozzy, then you have to come back and be like, you know what, I was fucking wrong. I do it all the time. YouTube, you have to fucking, your words mean something. You can't just make them fun. And there's some people that I absolutely love. You know, like, here's a good mic work. I think he's great. He masters old school radio tricks. And anyone who doesn't think it's old school radio tricks, you're fucking, he's a great at doing old school radio tricks, has a great voice. But never comes back and says he's fucking wrong. Dude, just come back. Actually, I think he did once. For fucking, I'm wrong. See, I fucking stepped up to the plate right here. I think he said it once with the fucking, what's his name, Daniel Bryan push. But usually he's like, he'll say something and be so confident, defend WWE, and then, well, you're wrong. Where the fuck are you? And here's another thing that fucking people are wrong. Brie Bella confronted Stephanie McMahon in the worst fucking segment ever. And everyone's putting this fucking over. Everyone, they're like, this is good acting. How is it good acting? How? Do we know what good acting is? Great. All right, let's good acting for Stephanie McMahon. All right, you have. All right, let's be fair. You have Princess Moneymark. Let's use the birth names, and Daniel Bryan's wife. And you are acting like this is a fucking groundbreaking thing for the Divas. Listen, acting like this is a main event is like being a rich kid, dropping out of the Marine Corps, having your daddy lower it from a dishonorable discharge, and then going on Twitter and acting like that's something to be proud of. No, let's not pick on Randy Orton. It's like being rich, going to the New York City Marathon, paying everyone else to look the other way while you drive a motorcycle. No, that takes talent. This is like buying a Super Bowl ring on eBay and calling yourself a Super Bowl champion. Oh, Stephanie McMahon, this segment, this is a great women's movement? No, do go on. When you say crazy stuff like this is great for women's wrestling, that is an insult to Lita and Trish, who actually really main evented the Raw. It's an insult to Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, who I think, don't quote me on this, had one of the highest rated fucking main events ever in TNA history. I don't know if it's been surpassed since, but I remember Emily making a big deal about that. And, well, TNA did the right decision with those. All right, listen. This was a rich girl getting her way with an actress. That's all this was. This isn't a women's movement. This isn't a good thing for women's pro wrestling. Matter of fact, this is horrible for women's pro wrestling. And, you know, Stephanie, it was a good promo. I'm not going to lie. It was a decent promo. And it was ruined. Ruined. First off, she does the whole I'm going to jail bit, which I'm surprised they don't drag that more out. But how many Americans get thrown in prison? I think promos like that would hit home and, like, people would understand it. You know, Sesame Street even did a show on this. It's like, WWE, teach American children that their daddies are probably going to go to jail. The odds are they're going to jail. Yay! USA! 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 We, the people, are going to prison. But yeah, just fucking... And then she's scared, which kind of makes a little bit of sense. And then she hulks up and slaps her. And I'm just like, for the love of fucking Christ. Dear Terry Funk, please. But please, whatever you do, if you're the most I'm a little negative asshole. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie. I'm a negative asshole. I try to call it right down the middle, but I'm a little more negative than the fucking average Joe here, okay? I'm a little more negative than the average Joe. But please, don't say this is good for women's wrestling. Don't. Don't. Just don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Alright, that was main event Raw. And one thing, Bruce Blitz brought something up. I didn't watch Bruce Blitz, but someone left it in the comments. There was very, 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 very little wrestling. It might have been the craziest amount of wrestling, non-wrestling ever. Like, dude, there was barely any wrestling. And if it wasn't for the Jericho match and Cena match, 2 separate matches, there might have not been any wrestling at all. Huge loss. Me and Boom Booms break it down more, so if you want, you can check it out. WWE main event results. Here we go. Let's see. Boom. Hold on. Give me 5 seconds. Bam. Bam. All right, let's go to some live comments. BGC Fan 17. What did you think of the rumors of Hulk Hogan training to have one more match with John Cena? I'll get to that in the news segment. I do have some news stories set up towards the end. What do you think is wrong with Randy Orton? He has the look, build, a decent wrestler, but he's just so fucking boring. First off, he has the look, without a doubt. All right, he's fucking probably the prettiest fucking man ever. He builds, yeah. I mean, he's not out of shape. He's just a model, a decent wrestler. I don't know. People say he's a decent wrestler. Is he? Is he? Is he really a fucking decent wrestler? I don't know. Like, I know there's people out there that like think he's a good wrestler. I just don't fucking see it. And maybe it's I just fucking pay attention. Like I'm just like, dude, he's still staring at him. Yo, does anyone else see Randy Orton just staring at him? Is it me? Am I fucking in slow motion? But yeah, I don't think he's a decent wrestler at all. He's better than John Cena, maybe. I don't know. I'm fucking having my doubts. But he's so fucking boring. Yeah, he stares at you for fucking ever. You can't cut a promo. He stares at you forever. You know what I mean? It's just not fucking good. It's just not good. What is your top 5 wrestlers in WWE that need to retire? John Cena. Me personally believe. All right. Your top 5. Yeah, my top 5 for it to be more entertaining to me. John Cena. Let's see. John Cena, Randy Orton, Dave Bautista. I'm trying to think who else. Can the McMahons be one like Vince and Stephanie? Because I don't know. They don't even count as a wrestler. But the McMahons just need to fucking go away. And Kane. I hate the fact that Kane put the mask back on. I'm not a big fan of Kane. I respect the person behind the mask, just the character. I mean, they might as well call him Mr. Plot Holes. Like, if he came out doing a tap dancing, and and like, even with Daniel Bryan, it's okay. Okay, he pokes fun out of himself, his career's coming to an end, that's okay. Oh, he sells out, that's okay. But then it's like, hey, I'm a monster again, get it? They might as well be putting fucking comical music, like and he comes out tap dancing, and he's singing a fucking song. I'm Mr. Plot Holes. Look at me, I'm Mr. Plot Holes. Maybe him and Vaudevillains could get together, play the Vaudevillains music, have Kane come out, and just act like an old Frankenstein monster. You're going, I am Mr. Plot Holes. Yeah, he's a fucking monster. Fucking. Ooh. Having to boss his daughter in a reality TV star and end a 3-hour wrestling show is total bullshit. As a woman, I don't feel that this is improving female wrestling. I don't think so. I agree. Alright, that was from BGC Fan 17. Alright, bam. Keep the live comments coming. We don't have many live viewers. But hey, you know what? It's about the love. It's about the love. Alright, let's go. WWE main event. It was better than Raw. The Usos defeat Ryback in a very entertaining short match. Yeah, I'm just going to skip this. It wasn't that fucking good. Heath Slater, Slater Gator defeated Zack Ryder and Tyson Kidd. I really enjoy Slater Gator. I'm happy to see Zack Ryder just because he did so much on social media. He's the Gary Vanderjack of fucking WWE, and just he gets disrespected for it. You know, one of my many hats that helps pay the bills is I used to work SEO, but now I'm more marketing, and I guess marketing and SEO are kind of the same thing. I'm not a black hat SEO guy. I just go in and get paid to talk how you should run social media and marketing. So it's not a bad little gig, but he's amazing. Zack Ryder should be an example of how to do social media. He should write a book, dude. Really, he's really good at social media. So I'm happy to see Zack Ryder on there, just because social media thing, it just makes me completely happy. And you know what? I think I say some outrageous statements, but I believe it. I think if CM Punk doesn't come along, wrestling in NXT isn't as good. I don't think without CM Punk's success, there is no Daniel Bryan, there is no Shield. Well, there might still be Roman Reigns, but there is no Ambrose. I honestly believe that. I believe if there's no ECW, there's no Attitude Era. I believe if there's no Zack Ryder, there's no WWE Network. Just look at the history. You know, they weren't using social media. Then they saw how fucking much Zack Ryder got over. And then they're like, wow, let's do social media, and then expand from there. And now all of their efforts go into the network, which we'll talk about later. I enjoy Slater Gator a lot. I root for Zack Ryder. Not just a lot of people are like, oh, he's a great wrestler. He's not a great wrestler, but you know what? WWE, FCW, and NXT tell this fucking lie. They tell this fucking lie, and if there's one thing I could change, I said, hey, like even if I went to Triple H, if there's one fucking thing I would change, I would ask or try to change. Do not. Well, first off, cancel Be a Star. I hate the fact that WWE has Be a Star. I'm anti-bullying, but they are the worst fucking company. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, let's go to, I don't know. I was going to make a fucking history joke, but it would probably offend too many people. But it's just, I don't know. All right, let's fucking focus on the match. Slater Gator, I find very entertaining. Poor Zack Ryder. And Tyson Kidd. He's like the main guy on NXT as a heel. And then he comes here and he's like, is he a face? Is he just hanging out? It's weird. If you're going to try to get Slater Gator over, why not just get someone else besides Tyson Kidd? I don't know. And Dean Ambrose defeated Alberto Rio via disqualification, run-ins, and all that fun stuff. It happened. Bam! And I did a more in-depth review on YouTube. All right. Let me get this real quick. NXT. It was decent. I guess maybe the best show of the week. It wasn't a good NXT show, but an average NXT show was the best show of the week for WWE. Tyler Breeze defeated Angelo Dawkins in a kind of a squash match. The match of the week. Now, if you want to put over women's wrestling, you're like, wow, look what women's wrestling can do. If you want to do that, dear YouTube, this is the fucking match you should be talking about. You should be talking about Charlotte Flair. You should be talking about NXT. Charlotte Flair defeats Becky Lynch, who looks like a hotter, younger version of Lita, and it was the match of the night. They stole the show, so it was real. I enjoyed this match a lot. It was not as long as some of other Charlotte Flair's matches. It's not one of Charlotte Flair's better matches, but it was probably one of the best matches of the week. Definitely best match on NXT. The Ascension defeated Steve Cutler and Mac Miles. Way to go, Ascension. You defended the titles against someone who has a fucking name this week. Yay! But the most important thing is, out of this situation, is the Ascension there'll be a tag team tournament for a #1 contender spot. So I enjoy that a lot. Mojo Rawley and Bull Dempsey, two guys I fucking hate, two guys that I fucking see get pushed and wonder why there's Mojo, why, like, out of all the people that get these spots, Mojo Rawley and Bull Dempsey, are you fucking for real? Defeated the Mechanics. I actually like the Mechanics better than Mojo Rawley and Bull Dempsey. Poor Mojo Rawley lost his fucking mojo. He was over as fucking the NXT universe. And Bull Dempsey, and it's not Bull Dempsey's fault. I mean, he's fat. I'm fat. I should like fat guys. All right, so why do I hate Bull Dempsey? He wears King Kong Bundy tights. I love King Kong Bundy. I love King Kong Bundy more than a straight man should. Why do I hate him? Because Jim Ross fucking always said, and WWE always said, oh, fat guys can't fucking wrestle. Fuck Samoa Joe. Fuck Hashimoto. They don't look like Randy goddamn Orton. And then the one fat guy they do get to push like the last of a dying breed right before they sign Kevin Steen is Bull fucking Dempsey. So you know what? I'm sorry, Bull Dempsey. When I see you and I hear the NXT announce team put you over and you're getting this fucking push even though you haven't fucking done shit in NXT and you had a losing streak and you were a fucking jobber and they repackaged you, this is none of your fault. I fucking despise you and hate you. Because Samoa Joe didn't get that spot. And you know what? Maybe that's my fault. Maybe I'm the asshole. But you know what? I'm the asshole saying, fuck you, Bull Dempsey. They're probably going to be a tag team, and they'll probably be in the tournament. In the main event, Adam Rose defeated Tyson Kidd. Poor Adam Rose. He's trying, and I just hope... I don't know. I don't like the character. I don't like him. But for some reason, I'm rooting for him because he's just doing so bad. So bad. Like, I don't know. There's something, American Idol-ish. I don't really watch the show, but I imagine it's like this. But if someone does so bad with their trying, you feel a little guilty. And you're like, oh, come on. Let's fucking root for this guy. That's what I feel like Adam Rose. I don't know. Have you ever been to anything? And I'm sure it's happened to me before. And I'm sure it's happened to other people, but you do something or you see someone do something and they fail so miserably, like this podcast, and you just feel bad for them. You're like, oh, all right, I feel bad for you. Let me fucking root for you. That's what kind of fucking positive vibes I'm sending to Adam Rose. Tyson Kidd, the storyline is continuing, and NXT seems to keep pushing them. I don't know where it's going, but good news is for NXT. Their last great show was their special, and building up to that special was amazing. And then they kind of dropped the ball, but they signed 900 great fucking talents. It's like, oh my god, you gotta see this guy. He's absolutely fucking amazing. WWE signed him. Like, if I said, who's the top 5 pro wrestlers that you've never heard of, they're just signed NXT contracts. But Triple H announces an NXT special for September 11th live on the WWE Network. I wonder when TNA superfans, when is TNA's last show on Spike if they don't re-sign? Which I think they're going to re-sign. There's a part of me, there's a little conspiracy here. I don't know where my conspiracy theory at. I think TNA and Spike sent that TMC thing themselves. Because no one watched our TNA reviews. No one watched our TNA news. But now, everyone watches our TNA review, and it was probably the hottest show of the week. Now, granted, and NXT always does bad review-wise, and Smackdown was crazy late. But, yeah, Impact this week got tremendously high views for us, and everyone on the internet's talking about it. So there's a part of me, the little conspiracy theorist, that's like, I wonder if they did this on purpose just to get tons of vibe and talking. Now, granted, that means you'd have to think Spike TV is smart, which has a really bad track record, and you have to think TNA is smart. And if you think TNA is smart, well, each their own. I mean, you know, they're not eating glue. That's a step up. But Triple H announces an NXT TakeOver special for September 11th live on WWE Network. And the reason I bring up TNA is I wonder if TNA will still be on Spike. It'll be kind of interesting. So there you go. I don't know when TNA's last day on Spike is, but it would be weird if this was TNA's last show or TNA just got off the air. I don't know the exact date in September, and it might be all the way through September. I apologize for not knowing. Rob, I need you, so when you talk, I can do it. Boom says, "What's up?" You know, just doing the podcast. And do something. Yeah, I miss you so much. It hurts. There you go. There we go. And bam. Let's go to some YouTube live comments. Good. Do you think Triple H takes over WWE, things will change, or will shit stay the same? That is the billion-dollar question. That is $1 trillion. BGC Fan 17, give yourself a Barry Horowitz. This is probably the most important question for this generation. We don't know when. Boom Boom just said, "Aw." I don't know when Triple H is taking over. And Triple H, there's two Triple H's. I really believe there is. There's, I want to be Vince McMahon so bad, let me follow in his footsteps and kiss his ass. And then there's, I want fucking pro wrestling to be great. Triple H gets a lot of credit for NXT, and a lot of people put Triple H over as far as finding wrestling talent, as far as, you know, changing the product for the better in ring. So this is the $1 million question. And if Triple H does take over WWE, and he's as good as people give him credit for, you know, he takes full responsibility. Like, he takes all the credit. Granted, people are giving him the credit, but it's kind of like forced credit. You fucking say this, or but he gets all the credit for NXT, and NXT is amazing. He's signing Kenta, Prince Devitt, Kevin Steen. He did have some failures, but in Triple H's defense, where Triple H failed, I would have failed too. I would have definitely hired Sin Cara, Mystico. There's no way. I would have fucking hired him. Like, even now, like, if Mystico's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come back," I'd be like, "Okay, let's re-sign him." Like, he's one of the best luchadors of all time. And Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong got pregnant and had to step aside. But I would have made that same mistake over and over and over again. But yeah, I hope it gets better. You know, because even if Roman Reigns is the next John Cena, which he's a step up for John Cena, he's not the ultimate pro wrestler, golden boy, as Rob would say, but he's better than John Cena. But if they just keep signing, I mean, dude, did you, as a pro wrestling fan, I don't know how long you've been watching, did you ever think they would sign Kenta, Prince Devitt, Kevin Steen? This is happening, you know. And once again, to give credit, you can call me a CM Punk mark. I think it has a lot to do. Marcus Roll, Dave, I would love to hear you do a video analyzing G1 climates with respect to being a Japanese wrestler. All right, I'm going to give you the cliff notes, but I will do a G1. Maybe I'll do a G1 finals. I have to do more Japanese wrestling and more indie wrestling. I do one show a day, and my WWE hogs up way too much of my time. Maybe I have to do shorter shows and do that, but I definitely have to do more Japanese. I'm going to give you the cliff notes. G1 is fucking amazing. Go watch it now. And I live in Japan. That's the cliff notes, Marcus Raleigh. One thing I do love about the G1 though is it's hard to say. I love AJ Styles. I've been watching AJ Styles and NWA Wildside. I watched him up and down the East Coast at IPW, NWA Florida. He might have been in FIP. Don't quote me on that. But I've been watching AJ Styles before most people, even TNA fans, and I absolutely love him. Great fucking human being, great wrestler. But when he came to New Japan and he won the title, I didn't become a hater, but I was disappointed. You know, like when your kid lies about doing homework in a report and you're just so disappointed. I was just so disappointed in AJ Styles. And granted, he didn't control it, but I kind of hated him because Prince Devitt never won the IWGP title, and he comes in and takes Prince Devitt's spot, just wins it, and then beats Okada, and then Okada was one of the worst booked wrestlers ever in Ring of Honor. And you know what? I fucking kind of hate Ring of Honor for it, to be honest. But G1, even though I have bad feelings for AJ Styles, and even though I'm like, fuck you, that's Prince Devitt's spot. Fuck you, you shouldn't have the title. You know, if AJ Styles won G1 and then won the title at Wrestle Kingdom, I'd be like, fuck yeah! All right, way to go, AJ, high five. But you come in and beat Okada, right? I was really fucking bitter. I'm not gonna lie. I was bitter. I thought it was fucking stupid. I thought New Japan, the way they went about working with Ring of Honor was stupid. Not like working with Ring of Honor. I don't think that's stupid. Just accepting the bookings. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. New Japan is way better than Ring of Honor, and that pay-per-view was booked fucking poorly, especially if you're an Okada fan, or even fucking respect what Okada does in the ring. It was just booked fucking horribly. But yeah, I was kind of an AJ Styles hater, but that's one thing that G1 is really changing around. I was like, you know what, AJ, I shouldn't be mad at you. It's not your fault. Just New Japan doesn't know how to fucking break outside of the Japanese market. It's weird. It's like seeing, I don't know, because a lot of Japanese players don't become bust. But I'm trying to think, who's that frog-looking fucker? I was going to use Matsui, but Matsui's not a bust in New York. If you think Matsui's bust in Major League Baseball, I don't want to talk to you. But who's that frog-looking motherfucker that pitched for the Yankees? Well, everyone thought they were getting a good pitcher. And everyone in Japan's like, he's not that fucking good. And he got a huge contract, went to New York, and got fucking robbed. You know, I just fucking think that's what happened here. New Japan is the best in the fucking world, making fucking a shitload of money. They are the WWE of Japan. And then they go to fucking Ring of Honor and be like, oh yeah, we'll be your bitches. Sure, Okada. Why? Why did he lose that tag team match? Fuck you, Ring of Honor. Why did he lose that tag team match? And all these people like, oh, but it evened out. Really? AJ Styles was in New Japan for fucking half a day. Alright? Get the fuck out of here, it evened out. Fuck you, Ring of Honor. Fuck you, AJ Styles. But with all that said, let me put that away. I'm a huge New Japan fan. That said, AJ Styles, I remember why I fall in love with you. It's like when your wife, well, you know, if you, I've been married since I was 17, so you've been married fucking like 800 billion years. And you're with the same girl. Well, you get through some rough times where you don't hate each other, but you're just like, yeah, alright. You know, but, you know, it's like falling in love with your wife all over again. That's what it is with AJ Styles in the G1. I forgot how great he could be. Who are your top 3 TNA wrestlers that WWE should sign? Ooh, that's tough because TNA is losing wrestlers left and right and are all older. And nowadays, I hate to say, there's one time where TNA had the best wrestlers in the world and WWE had the money. I think WWE has the money and the best wrestlers in the world. Let's see, 3 TNA wrestlers. They're all fucking old. Like, Christopher Daniels, he's not in TNA, but I won't make fun of Christopher Daniels, but, you know, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, they're old. Their opportunities are gone. But let's put age aside, because you have to. There's not many young people. Who would I sign? I'd say Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode deserves to be in WWE. Bobby Roode deserves to be on a bigger stage. I know TNA fans are going to hate that and be like, what the fuck? My fucking... Shut up. Pump your brakes. Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, just because there's some great matchups. But these guys are so late. I'm trying to think who else. Austin Aries. My vote, my money. Maybe. Man. Oh, American Wolves. American Wolves. Duh. Fucking mine is 1,000 points for me. I apologize, BGC Fan 17, for being stupid. Do you think CM Punk will ever come back? I think so. I wouldn't bet on it. But with that said, as a huge CM Punk fan, as a fuck the machine type guy, I hope he never comes back. I think he had the perfect storybook career. I think it's the perfect ending for this rebel who fucking played by his own rules. And you know what? All these people are like, oh, they should do the stop the CM Punk chants. Fuck you, you WWE defenders. They know he's not coming back. They're doing is they're pissed off at the fucking product. Now, granted, when they do it with AJ Lee in a match that's pretty good, I see your point. But fuck it, let them chant whatever the fuck they want. What is this? Fucking communist Russia? Are we living in the 80s? The Russo fucking paradise? What do you think of Paul Heyman? This is going to be over the top, BGC Fan 17, but I'm dead serious. When people, because I'm a writer, I write under a pen name. I'm actually going to write my first novel in my name this December, hopefully, if everything goes right, maybe 3. I've never written under my name, always do a pen name. I've worked screenplays at the very, very low level. Don't be like, did you write Guardians of the Galaxy? Screenplays at the lowest fucking level, and been in wrestling creative, and no matter where I am creatively, I put him up there with Stephen King as far as role models. I think Paul Heyman is the best wrestling promoter, mind, booker of the day. I don't know, like, well, he's W1 out of business. Yeah, he didn't have Daddy Warbucks. You know, Vince McMahon. I love how Vince McMahon's like, I'm a self-made man. You bought the best territory from your daddy on pennies for the dollar. Now, if you say, hey, dude, look, I moved my family business up and did tremendous, that's great. Good job, Vince. But to say you're a self-made man, go fuck yourself. I honestly, Paul Heyman, you know, not to be too over-the-top dramatic, role model. One of the favorite guys of all time. Granted, I never worked with him, never had to get a paycheck from him. Maybe it's one of those Stan Lee things, don't meet your heroes. Because, you know, I love Stan Lee too, but the more I get into comic books, you know, because recently I sold a comic and we're negotiating for 3 more comic book deals. Hopefully they come out fucking sometime before I die. But comic books take forever. I didn't know they took forever to make. You know, if you're not on Marvel, DC, dude, go to your fucking look. Support your independent comics because, dude, those independent comics take fucking forever to make. But yeah, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's one of my favorite guys, role model. But like I said, what I was gonna say in the comic world, Stan Lee is one of my role models. But the more I learn about Stan Lee, the more I'm like, he's kind of full of shit. All right, BGC Fan 17 says, what do you think of bringing back the brand split, and what would you like run right Raw and SmackDown? I don't really like the brand split unless they're really going to do a brand split and it's 2 different styles. Like, one thing about the network and the brand split is when I watch SmackDown, it should be all about pro wrestling. And when I watch Raw, it should be Vince McMahon's masturbation show. I'm all for the brand split. Remember when Paul Heyman was running SmackDown and Brock Lesnar? That was amazing. I'm for the brand split if they're completely different. But if one's just a B show like SmackDown, fuck it, don't have a brand split. Paul Heyman would run one show, and then I'd let them... Like, if it was me, I would let Paul Heyman completely run SmackDown and be a completely different show, and I'd have the McMahons masturbate on Raw because, well, you know, let's be real. We're not... What the fuck are we going to get? BGC Fat 17 says, Adam Rose needs to go. Okay, so I apologize. I'm not wearing my glasses. Adam Rose needs to go. He gets 0 reaction. Yeah, it's rough. That jump from NXT to WWE is a real rough one. Booms reaches in for the hot tag. All right, Booms, you want to come in? I'm not fucking scared. You think I'm scared? You think I'm fucking scared? All right, let's see. I hope you watch SmackDown, because that's what's coming up next, jerkface. Alright, there you go. Booms might be joining us. I don't know if he will. He is my co-host on Monday nights. Bam, bam. Alright, so bam. SmackDown! Let me try to get through SmackDown quick. I did do a review. How many people watched it? Granted, I did the SmackDown review like 76 hours after it happened, because I got to watch Big Japan. And instead, I was like, SmackDown review on time or Big Japan? I was like, Big Japan, please. Here we go. Jack Swagger defeats Cesaro. I thought this was a match. I feel so bad. Swagger, you're like, wow, this guy is going to be the shitbag after they break up, and Cesaro's so lost in the sauce. There are internet reports that he's going to come back with Paul Heyman, so that's kind of interesting. I enjoyed this match a lot. I described SmackDown as a shit sandwich. And the shit sandwich was, it started off with a great match and ended with a great match. The flag match was officially made for SummerSlam, and it was a pretty good, decent opener. If you're going to watch SmackDown, watch the first and last match. Please don't watch the middle. Boom! You just made it in time for the middle. We're talking about a shit sandwich, and we're like, the first match was good, the last match was good, the middle was shit, and Booms made it just in time for this shit. Do you just want to stand by?
Actually, Dave, because I'm more like that white cream in the Oreo cookie that everybody likes to just take apart the little cookie and just lick that white cream, that warm, buttery goodness that everybody loves. That's what I am. Gotcha.
All right, well, whatever you say. I'm going to do a SmackDown review really quick because I do got some news stories. Did you watch SmackDown?
Hell no. I was working. Actually, no, I didn't because I was working a double that night, so no, I did not.
Yeah, work. I know what you mean. For those that don't get the inside joke of why me and Booms giggle, I have health problems and have great insurance, so pretty much I'm just a writer and an internet nerd. and Boom Boom is working news media, which I used to have that job, and he works like a crazy man, and I literally work like 2 hours. I leave my house like 2 hours a week. So yeah, for work reasons. So yeah, I work 2 hours a week, but you know, I'm writing books, I'm doing podcasts. That has to count for something. I'm playing games. Mario Kart 8 isn't going to beat itself.
Dude, when you actually get one of your books, screenplays, or comic books, whatever, published, and you make bank off of that, then I'll be impressed.
All right, well, I don't even want to make bank. I just like to make a little bit enough money to do it. You know,
I just want to see it published.
We'll talk to my guidance counselor Boom Boom after the show. Randy Orton challenged Roman Reigns to a match at SummerSlam. It was shit-tastical. R-Truth defeated Bo Dallas by disqualification because Bo Dallas is fucking losing his mind that the streak is over. It was a bit violent. And like I said, it's just too soon. Too soon. We've seen this chapter in NXT. You fast forward to Chapter 7 way too much. AJ Lee defeated Rosa Mendez in the quickest match ever. Boom. It was the quickest match ever. They're like, Rosa Mendez is on. She's tapping out. They didn't even get the... This match was so quick, they almost didn't get the Total Divas reference out. So,
oh, wow, that was fast.
AJ Lee defeats Rosa Mendez. I didn't know Rosa Mendez was that hot, though. Rosa Mendez is quite attractive.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. That's why she's doing the Total Divas test.
That led to AJ Lee celebrating, and then Paige came out and beat the shit out of her. And a lot of people are complaining online because it's too much like Trish Stratus and Mickie James lesbian storyline. But in WWE's defense, and I'm not one to defend WWE, is they never finished that storyline. And this is kind of like the PG version of that. So, I don't know. I hope that both these...
There's no girl-on-girl kiss, unfortunately.
Well, they're doing that on house shows, because the Fandango girls are doing that on house shows. They did it in New York. I don't know if they'll ever do it on television. Seth Rollins and Kane defeated Dean Ambrose in a fucking handicap match. It was via disqualification. Fuck you. Fuck you. Boobs. I wrote a letter to myself to answer myself on fucking the Smackdown review. There's 3 things I fucking absolutely hate about pro wrestling. 1, non-title matches. 2, handicap matches. And 3, you ready?
Yeah.
Tights. The NBA, no, the NBA wears short shorts back in the day, but now they wear pants. Some UFC fighters used to wear tights, but now wear shorts. Why? And not only that, but there are straight websites. And now, listen, if you're a gay guy and you like seeing people in tights, hey, more power to you. Go have fun, my gay friends. But there are straight guys on Facebook who have pages just bitching about people not wearing tights. I don't understand it. Can you not have a 5-star match without me seeing your balls? Why can't we wear pants? Why can't we wear shorts? What is the obsession? And the funny thing is, you'll get an indie wrestler and be like, oh, pro wrestling's gay. That's not fucking gay. What the fuck? I fucking am a homophobe. That's not gay. It's manly man sport. Now let me get my tights. Oh my god, you're wearing fight shorts? Oh, that's fucking gay. No, we don't need to see your balls to fucking have a fucking 5-star match. Oh, by the way, there was a handicap match. Fuck you. Go watch my SmackDown review.
All right.
Diego defeated Fandango, which you saw the match. Booms. You've seen every Fandango match with the girls. Booms, you did not watch SmackDown review. I kid you not. Right now, you break it down, I guarantee you're 100% correct. How did this match go?
It started out with a little bit of a tie-up. Both the girls provided a distraction. Fandango was like, what the hell? And Diego got a roll-up and got the 1, 2, 3.
I kid you not, that's exactly what happened. They
Oh my God.
This exact fucking match 800 times in a row. You don't even have to fucking watch it. Way to go, Boobs. You won yourself a Barry Horowitz. Pat yourself on the back. Albert Del Rio defeated Dolph Ziggler. Guess how, Boobs? Yes. No. Let's do ABC. We'll do ABC. Okay. A. Okay. He beat him by, I don't know. Okay. I'm ruining A. Okay. Let me focus here. Okay. A. He beat him by girls running out, being distracted, looking at tits, and Dolph Ziggler lost. B. He beat him fair and square in a 5-star match. C. The Miz was ringside, stood on a table, and distracted him.
I'm going to go with C.
Of course, because they fucking did it 800 fucking times in a row. You don't even have to watch SmackDown. Chris Jericho, now playing the part of John Cena, defeats Eric Rowan. It's the same exact fucking feud with Bray Wyatt as it was with John Cena, only this time John Cena's playing the part of Chris Jericho. So it's like a reboot, but this time we actually like the good guy. The only difference is that Chris Jericho... Hey, this was probably match of the night. It was a really good match. But Chris Jericho defeats Eric Rowan, so now Eric Rowan cannot be ringside at SummerSlam. Same story, but it's basically a reboot. You're like, oh, do I like Arnold Schwarzenegger or the other guy in Total Recall? I'm sure that actor loves being called the other guy. By the way, I enjoyed Total Recall, the reboot. It got a lot of shit. Did you enjoy it?
I never watched it. I was just a fan of the original.
Yeah, the original's really good, but the new one's not bad. A lot of people shit on it. I did not think it was that bad. They at least... The one thing I liked about the reboot... You know it's a good week in... it's a good week at WWE when we're breaking down fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. But the one thing I like about the reboot is you can at least tell the guys that made it were fans of the original. Like, you can at least tell that. Like, sometimes you see a reboot and you're like, wow, Transformers. You obviously do not like Transformers. You do not like Transformers. I'm sorry. You know.
Speaking of which, dear Michael Bay, stop raping my childhood. Sincerely, Boom Boom.
I don't know. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which granted he didn't touch, he just put his name on, is getting good reviews. I haven't seen it yet. I live in Japan, so I got to watch Guardians of the Galaxy with Dave Bautista, which is doing amazing. So, Dave Bautista, forget about that 2-year contract. Go Hollywood full-time, and I'll root for you, baby. Just don't come back. All right, Booms, you made it. This is the part you made it to. Let's do this. WWE news. You ready for some WWE news? We got some more stories. Let's go to live comments because Boom Boom loves live comments. They're his favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it when Dave reads them too.
All right, let's see. Booms reaches in for the hot tag, and you're here. Netta Jones. I'm just gonna say it. You, Dave, are you by far my favorite WWE reviewer on YouTube. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad I went to comments. Yeah. Yeah. See, when you read every comment, sometimes you get those comments like, you're fucking fat, I fucking hate you, but sometimes you get a comment like Netta Jones. And you know what? It's worth it. It feels good. Thank you so much for the kind words. There's still another sentence. Watch her do a heel turn on me. Like, I'm like, yeah, it feels great. You always tell it like it is, and you feel the same way I do about Randy Orton. I swear his opponent should just hold. Oh, and I always make the same mistake. We should do a charity. When I don't go right to the comments, I should. Oh, and there's some review. All right. Bam. You know what, YouTube? You're starting to make me angry. There, I said it. I said it. All right. Oh man, this is a long comment. All right, let's read this. Netta Jones, we're in for the whole 9 yards. All right. I swear his opponent should just hold up a mirror so he can stare himself as much as he wants, then bash it over his head. Yeah. Face. Do you think they have dropped the ball on Cesaro? This is a tough question.
Not by a long shot.
Go ahead, Booms. You answer that.
No, I don't think they've dropped the ball on Cesaro, not by a long shot. Love it or hate it, he had a great match with John Cena at the opening of Raw, which is arguably the match of the night. The whole split between him and Payman, take two, the whole split between Cesaro and Paul Heyman, that little split, I thought, okay, that could be a storyline that ultimately turns Cesaro face. But from what I'm hearing rumblings on the dirt sheet, this has actually been planned out, and this is actually leading up to something bigger. Now, whether that term pans out, we're yet to see that. But he's shown that he can hang in there, at least by WWE standards, with the big boys. And so I think there's a lot around the corner for him. So no, his career is not in a rut. It's not in a downward spiral. His best days are still ahead of him. So if you're a big fan of Cesaro, like yours truly here, keep the faith, my friend. His day's coming.
And there are internet reports that they still have plans for him. They have lost a lot. Like, they just throw him around everywhere, so I hope one day they just focus on him. I'm a little scared, but at the same time, the internet keeps me warm at night and cuddles me and tells me everything's going to be okay. And you know what? I just want to believe that. And what did you think of how they are handling Roman's Reigns push right now? I think, and I know this is going to sound crazy, I think they're going too long. It would be different if they had a real champion. It would be different if they had a real main event feud. But I think he should be champ now. I mean, if you're going to give him the Golden Boy treatment, might as well. He's better than John Cena now. Is he the perfect candidate? No. But he's their candidate. He's their Golden Boy, and he's better than their Golden Boys. Like, I personally think John Cena, Dave Bautista, Randy Orton, when they were on top of wrestling, was when I hated it the most. When those three guys were fucking the main event, I absolutely despised it. And you know what? It sounds sad, but I feel like my president just won the election. Be like, he's not good, but he's better than the last guy. I personally feel that ever since Cesaro lost his shit a few weeks ago with Kofi Kingston won against him, that caused Cesaro to get carried away and go too far in taking it out on Kofi. That seems to have caused people to lose interest in him. But that's just my guess / opinion. Yeah, I just think the problem, I don't know if it's the Kofi thing. I mean, that has to do a factor in it. The problem is you don't know what Cesaro you're going to get. Like, Cesaro's a good guy. Yay! No, you're supposed to boo him. Get it? He's a bad guy. He's with Heyman. He's with Yosemite Sam. He's on the fucking Bullet Club. Like, every fucking week, you don't know what you're going to get with Cesaro. So I hope whatever they decide to do, there's some consistency to it. I think that's why he's not getting over as quick, as much with the masses. That's my opinion, at least. I just think if you don't know what the fuck character is going to come out, next week he'll be fucking yodeling. He hugs Paul Heyman, not Paul Heyman. But hopefully they have a plan. The internet says they have a plan. And you know what? I want to live in that world. I want to live in a world where they have a plan for Cesaro. I could be wrong. The internet could be wrong. And that would be a sad, sad, sad day. All right, Booms. We got 4 stories. Hit it up. You ready, buddy? You come in for hot tag, and now you're like falling asleep. You got to stretch out, brothers.
Well, I'm stretching out, man. I'm just relaxing, man, here on this beautiful Sunday evening here. Been checking out KocoSports.com, checking out some of the news and gossip there, so I'm kind of familiar with everything. So, Dave, what do we got here?
All right, the big news story was and we have the audio up. We won't go into it in detail. Jerry O'Neill broke it down pretty damn well and has the audio to it, but Vince McMahon discusses WWE Network, new deal with Rogers TV, and confirms staff cuts. 55 people have been cut. The network number is at 700,000 subscribers, or he thinks. He was really vague and not confident. And every time someone asked him a question, he's like, I'm not answering that. Like, well, that's not going to help your stock. But I thought it would be a lot lower than 700,000. People buying it overseas is not that high, so they think the global market's going to do good. And overall, they're putting all their eggs into this network basket, and people are disappointed. He thinks they'll still have 1 million subscribers by the year ends. Booms, I think Vince McMahon, you know what, Solo Master, he said it so much better than I did. But Solo Master, it's on KocoSports.net, but Solo Master cuts it off how the UFC Fight Pass is so much better than WWE as far as a business plan. And I think WWE has to learn from Fight Pass. But I think the only problem we have is that it's a publicly traded company and Vince McMahon promised too much. I think those 55 people would still have their job if it was a privately owned company. I think 700,000 subscribers is great. I don't know. My whole thing is, I got out of the meeting is, since John Cena... Now, granted, it's hard to quit these networks. Booms, you've tried to quit cable. You've tried to quit networks. Not only that, but you got to prepay for 6 months. Since John Cena's been champ, over 10,000 people have left the network.
Wow.
I wonder if that's going to be on the Did You Know? What are the odds if that's going to be on Did You Know? I think over 100,000 people have quit the network. And they said they're going to add in a lot of new features and hopefully build some new events.
The WWE Network, I think it's a good idea in theory. It just needs tweaking because I think it's way too early to pull the plug on the network. I mean, that'd be like
they'll never pull the plug on the network. Go ahead.
I think I think it's going to need some tweaking because aside from live events and maybe NXT, what really incentive do you have to watch it? I mean, do you really want to commit to watch like an old episode of Nitro for any particular reason? When I got to browse on there, I didn't subscribe, but I browsed on there. I mean, they had some ECW Hardcore TV going all the way back to 1995, and I said, if I actually had the time, I would like to, go back and just watch as many episodes of Hardcore TV as I could and kind of go, bring my way forward up to, the fall of ECW. But I just don't have the time, and and I'm kind of the same way. Like I subscribe to Netflix, which WWE says, oh, we're like Netflix but better, and people are like bullshit. But I mean, I see where they're coming from on it. I think it needs to be tweaked where you have more value for it. But here's the thing: why do you? They're showing products and stuff of. Only thing that WWE Network, excuse me, I'm sorry to ramble here, but what WWE Network is doing is actually reminding the fans, hey, look how great we used to be. And then people are watching that going, Jesus Christ, why can't you be this good again?
Yeah. And that's the same thing with TNA. TNA does this show, what's it called? Explosion. And they show an old classic match, and then it shows two athletes fucking mailing it in. And I'm like, why would you fucking show how great you used to be, and then expose how bad you are in one show? Watch Explosion. You'll see it. I would just say call Dana White. Dana White is doing it right. You are doing it wrong.
Dave, forgive my ignorance here, but exactly how does Fight Pass work?
Fight Pass, first off, they didn't guarantee any subscribers. They didn't make a public statement, and they're a privately company. So, it's a little bit on different playing fields. But if it's a pay-per-view, you don't get it until like a week later. Don't quote me on that, but time later. They have all their fights. Then they cover news. They cover the events that ain't on television because, they're going across the country to cover events there. They do. But the big thing that WWE can learn from, this is the big one, is they put on their competitors. They have women's MMA. They're talking about starting their own judo league, their own amateur wrestling league. And the thing is, Vince, Ustream is getting rid of its iPay-per-views. You would lose nothing. You'd only gain subscribers by being the host. Like, if TNA can't find a network, put them on your network. You are a fucking monopoly. If you're going to be a network, bring everyone in. I would get New Japan, Ring of Honor, all these iPay-per-views, bring them in. It's so fucking easy for you to do. I have no way. Like, if they don't pick up New Japan, because Ustream, I think G1 is going to be the last time Americans can get New Japan on Ustream. If they don't pick up New Japan, then fuck them. They deserve to go out of business. You know what I mean? It's just, why would you not want to make money off your competitors? The problem is you can't be a monopoly and own a network. That's the problem. And hopefully they can fix that. All right. Bam. WWE, 55 people are released, but also Ricardo Rodriguez is cut too. And I'm shocked because Albert Del Rio is hurting, but he's probably not going to resign. And Ricardo always made Del Rio a little more interesting. And not that, but he always wrestled as a masked luchador that could get people over. And he speaks multiple languages. So I'm kind of surprised. I'm not that surprised, but I wouldn't put him, if I was running it, there would be people cut way before him.
Dave, in a way, I am shocked, but I'm not. The reason I am shocked is because pound for pound, with Ricardo Rodriguez, you got what you paid for and then some. I mean, there was a guy who, one, could go back there and do your YouTube stuff because he always hosted Backstage Pass. Then, two, you could always get him out there as a manager for anybody if they needed him. Now, granted, it really didn't work out after he broke up with Del Rio, but I'll get to that in a second. He was doing Spanish commentary, and he was also wrestling under a mask as El Local. So, I mean, there was one guy right there essentially doing 4 jobs for you. And I'm thinking, for what you're paying him, I mean, that's a bargain. But I'm not surprised because after he left Del Rio, after they did, because there was always this thing where the guy gets pushed around and finally he has enough and, he fights back against, his former boss or whatever. I mean, it's been done a million times, most notably with Ted DiBiase and Virgil, was the most famous of that. But after that happened, it's like, okay, he broke away from Del Rio. Now what? We're going to put him with Rob Van Dam, but Van Dam doesn't need a manager. This isn't really working out. Okay. No, now Van Dam's 90 days is run up. He's going to go on a hiatus. Now what do we do? Okay, let's give him something to do backstage. Okay, let's put him in NXT. And then it was just kind of, after he broke up with Del Rio, it's just like, okay, where do we go from here? What does he do? And so, I think that's why he went. It's just the split up with Del Rio and finding no other man. I mean, I think Los Matadores would have been a great tag team for him, but they had to bring in the fucking Bull. So.
Well, that and also, how awkward was he with RVD?
Oh, it was awkward. It was very awkward. It's like, here's a guy who, I mean, he just didn't. For one, RVD didn't need a manager, and two, when WWE did put Rodriguez with them, it was just so awkward. I mean, it was just completely clashing styles. I mean, it's like, you know what? The blues is good, rock and roll is good, but when you mix these two together, it's just like, not that they're not good anymore. It's just they don't mesh well together.
Yeah. This is kind of a sad story, and it's just the way of technology. But WWE Magazine to cease production after Vince McMahon disbands publishing department. So I grew up reading WWE Magazine. And
yeah, I remember that too. To be honest, I'm not really shocked on that one either. I mean, just.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. I'm just a little bit sad. It's kind of like technology.
It's not shocking. I'm just saying I'm not shocked by this because in the digital age, a lot of newspapers and publications are going by the wayside. They may not be a WWE magazine per se, but especially with the network, I mean, that's definitely stuff they can transfer content onto there or WWE.com. A lot of that can just be transferred over to the digital format. So just because we don't get a paper publication anymore, because everything's digital nowadays. I mean, newspapers are even like that. I mean, there's a lot of, they're hurting for subscriptions now because why pay, 25, 30, 50 cents for a newspaper when you can read it online for free?
Yeah, plus with the website, the app, it made no fucking sense to have it, to be honest. But it's still a sad day. Technology moves on, so they're going to try to save money. But yeah, I used to have it. I never even liked WWF, but I had a subscription to WWF Magazine. I think I won it in some writing contest when I was a kid. And then they just kept sending it to me forever. Like, I think I won it for like 2 years, and then I'm pretty sure where I grew up, they're still getting WWF Magazine sent to them. So, but yeah, the website, the app, but yeah, because like even us, it's just with the internet and thing, we used to be a newsletter back in the day, and it was great because to read one news story, you had to buy a newsletter. So every time someone went there, you would have to pay us $19 to $28 or something along those lines. Nowadays, we're like, here's all the information, our soul, our everything we can possibly do. Please buy a T-shirt. Business models have changed. So, yeah, sad day, but obviously coming. Now, everyone and their mother's asking about this in the comments, and it's a top story on KocoSports, so let's just read the headline. Hulk Hogan says he's training for one last match with John Cena, possibly at WrestleMania. Now, everyone's like, do we want to see it? Do we not want to see it? What's your thoughts on it? Booms, you want me to go first? You go first. Hey,
no, go ahead. I know you're chomping at the bit, so go for it.
You know what? I'm gonna trick you, Booms. I'm throwing you a curveball here. I hate John Cena. I hate Hulk Hogan. I always.
Wow, really? A shocking revelation.
No. I've always hated Hulk Hogan. I was a WCW Ric Flair guy, and I fucking remember before the internet, I thought I was the only boy in the world who hated Hulk Hogan. Everyone in New Jersey, fucking David Tease from PW Insider, grew up with him. He's like, hey, fucking Hulk Hogan, Hulkamaniac. I'm like, fuck you, 4 Horsemen for life. And I was the only fucking idiot that hated Hulk Hogan. Like, I remember we'd get the pay-per-views because, you know, poor people, we can't feed our kids, but we're getting those fucking pay-per-views. We'd get the pay-per-views. I get all the WCW ones, and he get all the WWE ones. And Hulk Hogan was always the main event, and I would leave early. I'm like, dude, I got like a 45-minute fucking walk. Fuck that shit. I would never stay for a Hulk Hogan match. So I was never a Hulk Hogan fan. I hate John Cena. I hate Hulk Hogan. I just fucking despise them. Now, granted, when Hulk Hogan got a little older, I kind of rooted for him. Like, fuck it, he's old. I'll root for him. With that said, I think, yeah, I enjoy the match. I want to see it. The reason I want to see it is, if Hulk Hogan's going to have a match and John Cena has a match, I hate both of them, and they wrestle each other, well, that's 2 guys that I like that won't be stuck with them. That's the way I see it. And you know what? If John Cena and Hulk Hogan are going to, I don't know. Even though I hate them both, I'd rather see them wrestle each other than see them wrestle anyone else. So, I would enjoy it. Yeah, so I don't know if that's the answer you were expecting, but there you go.
Well, let's see. My thoughts on it is, one, Hulk Hogan can train all he fucking wants, but if he can't pass the WWE physical, it ain't going to happen. So, but let's just skip past that. Let's just say yes. For the sake of argument, yes, he passes a physical, and he's got one last match in him. You know what? If it's under the premise that this is indeed no fucking shit, this is his last match, then yes. Okay, let's just see this happens, because we got 2 guys who won't job, squaring off on each other. How much you want to bet it ends like with a run-in double disqualification? I would kind of, you know, let's just see it. But how many times has Hulk Hogan said he's going to hang it up? And how many times have we thought it was over and he had one more match? I mean, he's retired, 2 or 3 times that I can remember. So, I'm actually not too thrilled about it. But you know what? If it's going to be Hulk Hogan's absolute last match, yeah, why not? Let's just do it. Let's bite the bullet and get it over with. They get the payday. They get to feel all big and happy. They get the big WrestleMania moment. Everybody stands up, claps, says, "Thank you, Hogan. Thank you, Hogan." Or "Please don't go. Please don't go." Or "You still got it."
I guarantee there won't be a "Please don't go" chant. That's one thing I guarantee. There will not believe. You know, maybe a "Please let this be your last match." Because I was at WrestleMania 24, and dude, when Ric Flair went to TNA and wrestled, a part of me died. I was like, I thought there was something special. You know, it's like losing your virginity and then finding out that fucking Alfred is just a fucking player and sleeps with everybody. It's just not the same.
Sound like you're speaking from experience there, Dave.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to WrestleAM, KocoSports.com, where we have subtle gay jokes that make you feel awkward. Let's leave on a good note, all right? Let's leave on a good note. Last story of the day. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, starring Dave Bautista, astounds with 160.4 million global debut. I love Dave Bautista when he's not wrestling. Dave Bautista, I've met him in Tampa. Great guy. You know, fucking Don Tony and other podcasts like, you only hate him because fucking you wish you could be like. That's not the case. I hate him because he's a shitty fucking pro wrestler. That's why I fucking hate him. He does great stuff for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Tampa. He's a decent fucking human being. He's not like, I think he's more decent human being than John Cena and Randy Orton combined. Just don't let him be around your girlfriend because he will fuck her. Be like Dave Bautista fucked your girlfriend, and he wasn't even the same zip code as him. I don't know how he has magical powers. He just shows up, fucks your girlfriend, and leaves. You're like, wow, how the hell did that happen? Like, calm down, Morrison. It happens all the time. You're not that special. But I wish this motherfucker the best success in the world, as long as he doesn't come back to pro wrestling. And I know he has a 2-year contract left. But no, please, please. Guardians of the Galaxy, we need a part 17. Just stay in filming forever. Become the most successful human being in the world. Just don't return to pro wrestling. Please, just don't return to pro wrestling. Booms! You want to add anything about Dave Dave Bautista's
Yeah,
success?
you know, and I hate to be this guy because it makes me sound like a, hang on, let me do the air fingers quote here, hater. But no, the film is not starring Dave Bautista. No, he
Well, he's one of
co-stars
the main
in.
characters.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters, but he doesn't star in it. He's not the main. Yeah, he's a character. It's like an entourage there, and yes, he is part of the main cast. I'm not going to take that away from him. You know, but he's also in there with Vin Diesel. Bradley Cooper does a voice in there. I mean, he's one of the stars of that movie. But to say it's like starring Dave Bautista, no, I guarantee you his name ain't fucking first on the fucking credits when that movie pops up. Second of all, the superhero craze. I mean, we're just right in the middle of it, and hey, we're in a boom period. They keep making these superhero movies because it's guaranteed to make money. So, you know, yeah, he's a part of the and you know, congratulations to him. I mean, I'm dead serious. Congratulations for landing the role. Congratulations for having a movie that had a great opening weekend. I've heard from a few people on Facebook said it's actually a good movie, and you know what? I'm not going to take that away from him. Congratulations. Best of luck to you. Absolutely best of luck. And I agree with Dave. Just keep making movies. You keep making movies. Go back to doing MMA. Just stay the hell away from a WWE ring.
So, congratulations, Batista. Just never come back. You know what I mean? Thank you, Marcus Rollin, for your question. Do you really want to see Hogan or Cena? I don't know if I really want to see it, but I'd rather see Cena wrestle Hulk Hogan than anyone else. I guess that's the best way to answer that. All right, Booms. The stage is yours. What do you got to say? Why Boom Boom has the stage? Please input in live comments because we'll try to get to them right afterwards. Go ahead, Boom. The stage is yours.
What I want to tell everybody, first of all, is you got to go to KocoSports.com. That's KOCO Sports.com. We're home for all combat sports, and that includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling. You know, you hear Dave talking about the G1 tournament, G1 Climax tournament. We got a glimpse on that over on our video on demand section. We've got a lot of top MMA news. We're talking about Anderson Silva, talking about his leg. Remember that vicious injury? Well, he says he's about 95%, but when is the real test going to be? You can find out there on our MMA news section. As far as wrestling news section goes, oh man, we got some little controversy brewing here. Vince Russo made some very controversial claims and statements and whatnot against Spike TV. You're not going to believe what he said. Me and Dave both have our opinions on that, but you can find out exactly what he said that kind of got us both stirred up. You can find that over on our top wrestling news section. Dave just reviewed Smackdown. If you want to find out what he's talking about, you can be sure to check that out on Video Demand. We've also got links to the latest NXT show, Impact. Don't forget to check out Coco's Corner. That's Dave's blog. All kinds of good stuff on there, but you got to go over there to KocoSports.com. It's available 24/7. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
All right, we have a special guest appearance. Last on Smackdown review, we had Vince Russo. Oh, here's the clip. Vince Russo, is anything your fault? Nothing's my fault, bro. And someone's having a little bad day. He got yelled at by his grandma. But baby Leo is coming by. My room's a wreck. Say hello. Say go to KocoSports.com. This is baby Leonardo. Oh, you think it's funny? All right. No, it's not funny. No live comments. No live comments. Say, I'm having a bad day. Grandma's yelling at me. All right. Say, bye-bye. All right. Say, go to KocoSports.com. No? All right. Go to Boom. Should I do it? I feel like this is a horrible joke. But it's late in the show. I'm sure everyone has a horrible sense of humor. Go to KocoSports.com now. And please buy our Internet Infantry shirt for $24.99 so I can feed my kids. But no, if you have an extra $24.99 and want to support us, I actually feel guilty for telling the joke. If you got an extra $24.99 and want to support us, go there. All right, can you say Coco Sports? Coco Sports? Boom Boom? That's Boom Boom. He knows Boom Boom, not Coco Sports. You want to watch Luigi? He wants to watch. He loves watching YouTube Let's Plays. All right, we'll watch Luigi in a little bit. All right, say go to KocoSports. What? You gotta be serious. Like, go to KocoSports.
It's entertaining. That's why he's laughing, because we've got some cartoons on over there. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, G.I. Joe. We got those cartoons on there, so that's why he's laughing. He's, he knows what he's about to watch, baby.
All right. So, hey, go to KocoSports.com. Can you say I am over? Say over. No. I say bye-bye. Bye-bye. I am over. Bum, 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 ba-dum.